The Auburn Avenue Research Library is a special collection library for research on African American culture and history. The Softness Was Always Ours exhibit at Auburn Avenue Research Library is a celebration of the softer side of Black womanhood. What makes this exhibit so special is it allows women in the African American community to see themselves in a way that media does not always portray. So you have women who are engaged in activities of socialization, self-care, dressed in elegant gowns, pursuing higher education, involved in community service, and just loving cultural activities. This exhibit came to be from multiple phases. I enjoy social media in my free time, and I noticed that there were a lot of videos that came up about Black women feeling tired, wanting to live a softer life. And then I started seeing negatives in the photo negative collection that I'm processing, where there are women who exhibited those things across time, from the 1920s through the 1970s. And I thought that would be a pretty fun idea for an exhibit that's already gotten wonderful positive feedback. There are 9 panels in total. 7 of them are based on the collection that I'm processing, and 2 are from other collections. So the panel here, for example, behind me, is from our rare periodicals and newspaper collection. We also have a panel from the Utopian Literary Society's, or Literary Club rather's, papers. And then we also have albums from our long playing records collection with album covers that also hint at the themes of the exhibit. So we are still processing this collection. It's massive. It's over 80,000 negatives, and we are a little more than halfway through it. What I've observed and received as feedback, a lot of emotion. I've had women actually come up to me crying, and I gave one woman a big hug at the opening reception. She just felt very much seen. She felt that this touched a part of her that she needed. And I've heard that from a few people that they needed it. The word need, when it comes to an exhibit, that hits a special place, I guess, in the heart. Also, I got wonderful feedback on the curatorial statement, that the statement itself, touching on softness and opposing negative narratives, is something that also hit close to home for them. We have a couple of colleagues here who lived through some really strong times in American history, and for them, this also hit them in a special way, to see just portrayals of women that maybe they haven't seen in a long time, or emotion of taking them back to a different place in time was special for them. Also, the way that the panels themselves are designed, they're set up to look like the way someone's grandmother might have photos on the wall. And so that also makes people smile when they come to see the exhibit. I want the public to know that history is not something far away or unapproachable or untouchable, that people can come in and engage with what we have here, and that we're happy to put together exhibits and programs that make that history contemporary and useful for today. Also, it's important because where we working with African American culture and history can sometimes have very heavy emotional impact on patrons and the people who work here. So to be able to do something in a different way that focuses on something uplifting, light, positive, to give a balance to some of the heavier content that also resides here, I think is important for people to not feel fatigue. I'm very grateful. I just celebrated my 1-year anniversary working here at the Auburn Avenue Research Library, which means it's also my 1-year anniversary working full-time as a librarian straight out of library school. This is a career change for me. So for anyone out there who's thinking about changing careers, it doesn't have to be to libraries, of course, but I say go ahead and take the plunge, because you never know what might happen. Please go to fullcolibrary.com softness.org/AARL for more information about programs, for links to our digital exhibits. There's also a digital exhibit that ties into this exhibit that has a recommended reading list in addition to photographs and a Spotify playlist.